Hey everyone, welcome back to the Runaround, brought to you by Halliburton Sports here on ESPN 1300. Check out Halliburton Sports for all of your running needs at halliburtonsports.com or visit their showroom on Pulaski Highway. I'm your co-host Greg Jubb alongside my buddies Brad Jager and Ryan McGrath. And Brad, I know you got something you want to say. You got that look on your face.
Yes, Gregster, I sure do. I've got actually two thoughts this week, Greg. I've had two complete thoughts. First one is about if you want to sign up, Running Maryland is now going to have an e-newsletter where we can get you all the information about exactly what's happened and making it look pretty for you. Just go to runningmaryland.com, scroll down to the link that says sign up for an e-newsletter, and starting September 1st, you'll get it out to you weekly.
Check it out, runningmaryland.com. And this second thought, I have a feeling, is the official Brad's thought of the day.
The official one. I've enjoyed how the Olympics have been focusing a lot on the parents in the stands. For every athlete that's out there having the nerves about the race, the parents are going through 100 times more nerves up there in the stands waiting for them. Makes me think about why we started up Running Maryland. It's for the parents. There's a lot of parents that can't get to their kids' races anymore because both parents work or parents just can't make it to the races. This is a way for us to be able to have those parents see their kids and revel in all their revelry and their races, or whatever I want to say.
Revel in revelry.
That sounds like an NBC.
So the one bit of props I give to NBC on their coverage has been the coverage of the parents.
And some ad campaigns as well. Have you seen that? Maybe it's Visa.
Procter & Gamble does a big thing with the parents and maybe the moms.
Yeah, it was the one where they have like the children competing on the balance beam. Mm-hmm. There's like the 6-year-old boy on the diving board because it says in the mother's eyes, they're still kids.
And Tatiana McFadden from Atherton High School is also in the ads too for BP.
For BP. Big shout out to her competing in the Paralympics, starting up just after the Olympics.
Very cool. And something I want to mention here. Big race coming up for us, a race we're very excited about. The Jerry Martin Memorial Cross Country Run for Seth McDonough, celebrating the life of Coach Jerry Martin. If you're tired of road races and want to do something different, maybe you want to step on some hill and dale and test your fitness. 3-mile cross country run at McDonough School. It's going to be August 26th, the morning of. Check it out. You can see more information on runningmaryland.com.
Cross country is actually the sport of kings, and that is where our modern day track event, steeplechase, is from.
True story.
Well, that was just great. Thank you.
Hey, I'm just letting you know that if you want to be a real king and real champion, you should go do some.
And we've dropped the price too. We think it's that important for people to come out and celebrate the life of Jerry Martin, one of the most fabled coaches here in Baltimore County, that we've dropped the price down to $20 for this event.
What Brad is alluding to here is that we're actually managing the race, in case I did not mention that.
That's
Running
right.
Maryland will be out putting the race on.
Yep.
Also, let's get the local standpoint here. Ryan, who is the athlete of the week, the local athlete of the week?
So, around here locally, this is a kind of a slow time in the summer. There's not a lot of events going on. This weekend was particularly slow, but that didn't mean that local athletes weren't representing not just locally, but nationally and internationally. And for that reason, I have decided that Allison Schmidt, who is the swimmer that swims down the road here at North Baltimore Aquatic Center and Meadowbrook Pool and Facility, you've seen her all throughout the Olympics coverage, but the girl has absolutely killed it, torched it. She's 18 years old. She's one of the young up-and-coming swimmers, along with Missy Franklin and another fairly local, Kathleen Ledecky, who won the 800 from Bethesda. This is the future of swimming, and these young women are absolutely amazing. So for Allison Schmidt, we can maybe we'll shout out Pool of Champions down there at Meadowbrook.
And I'm sure she's run once or twice, so
I would think it's dry land.
And a quick point about Ledecky: she didn't just win; she crushed it in the 800. World record, correct?
Or just short? It was Olympic. It was just short of the world, but it was Olympic, and I mean, what a swim!
Absolutely fantastic.
Beating Rebecca Adlington of Team Great Britain.
And you know who might just win Local Athlete of the Week next week? A guy who's in the 1500 meter final in London right now. Matt Sechowitz from Broadneck High School in Anne Arundel County, from Arnold, Maryland. He was last year's bronze medalist in the 1500 meter at the World Championships as a 21-year-old, surprising the world and really becoming part of, or really spearheading the resurgence of American middle distance running. Well, guess what? He's run very smart to make it through the first round. He's made it to the semis, and as of last night, he made his way to the final by running 3:34 in the 1500 to make it with the best athletes in the world.
In a very smartly run race.
Smartly run and super, super comfortable. I mean, he didn't have to kick. It didn't look like he was taxed at all running 3:34. It looked great. I think he's looking good now for tomorrow night's final.
I was worried because the first heat, the winners or the people who qualified for the final either ran 3:42 or 3:43, which is like a ho-hum time in terms of international fields and international talent. The second field, the winner from Morocco, Abladi, runs 3:33. That's incredibly fast. That'd be an impressive time in one of the Diamond League meets.
Also because he didn't have to run that fast.
Exactly.
Because he had a very big lead. At that point, all 7 athletes knew, because it was top 5 across the line, plus next 2 fastest time. You saw the 7 people that knew they were going just kind of all let up. They all had no more momentum or motivation rather to keep pushing.
And I got worried because Centrowitz, as much as a great tactician as he is, he runs very smart races, as you guys just said, and that's why he wins, or that's why he does so well on the international stage. I was worried. I was like, is this going to take too much out of him? One thing to note about him: when he beats other runners, he tends to have the slowest personal best of all those runners. And I'm thinking to myself, 3:34, is that too quick? But he kind of looked up the clock, took a deep breath, and moved on. I said, he looks good. He looks good.
Now, do you guys think that the final's going to be an honest race where they really take the pace out, or is it going to be a jog and sprint?
Absolutely not. I think it's going to be jog and sprint. I really do. And I'd be, if the only thing that's going to prevent that from being a jog and sprint, a sit and kick kind of race, is going to be with McLouthy from Algeria, the guy who was initially kicked out of the 1500 meter final because of his performance in the 800 meters. For not giving a bona fide effort, he just dropped out without really, faking an injury. I think he's going to be the one to take it out because that's how he's finished each semi. He's out there to prove a point. And he knows that Kiprop can roll down the pace in that last lap.
Yeah, but was he kicked out of the 1500 also?
Initially, he was.
He's been
they put him back in?
That.
As of a few hours ago, he's been reinstated.
But I would say, at this point, Kenya has made it very clear that they think their best bet for really medal sweep is in this men's 1500. I would, tend to agree that it would have been, something that they could do. But with these guys that from the other African nations that look really antsy, I think they're going to take it out a little bit harder. I don't think they care, who's expected to win, and I think they want to just throw some wrenches in it.
Having run some 1500s, it's no one wants to lead. I watched the 10K and I saw Kenenisa Bekele take that lead. He just had to stretch out that field a little bit to kind of open it up. These guys, as much as I wouldn't be surprised, and I think it's a perfectly valid opinion, and just if you had to ask me, tomorrow night what I think is going to happen is it's going to go out slow because no one's going to want to take that lead. I'd imagine it's going to get picked up at about 800 meters. Someone's going to say, I'm getting sick of this. Someone's got to make a move. So I don't think it's going to come down to a quarter blowout sprint. I think it's going to be a very fast last 800, somewhere in the ballpark of 151. Mark my words. Guarantee it.
Okay.
But anyway, another American, Liam Manzano, made it as well, but he has not really shown his true mettle at that international stage yet. Unfortunately, his buddy Matt Centrowitz, who's a little bit younger, has proven himself at the World Championships last year. So hopefully, we'll see a local athlete do big things tomorrow night, so don't miss it.
Do you think Manzano is at a real disadvantage of being so short out there?
I think so, because I think it's very hard for the cameras to pick him up, and therefore hard for us to see, and even harder for us to cheer for him.
And what was he doing with his jersey? He was like licking his thumbs and like
that was the
massaging his
weirdest
chest
thing
or something.
I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know why NBC showed it, and if they're going to show it, at least have some sort of explanation, Tom Hammond, because that was very strange. Licking his fingers and then licking, and then applying to various body parts.
Applying.
I don't. What else do you say?
I don't know.
Men's and women's 400s.
Exactly. We have to talk about that for a second here because finally American Sonia Richards-Ross has achieved her goal of winning a gold medal at the Olympic Games. She has tried and lost before at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. She finally has it, and I think the way she ran that race is I'm not going to take it out too hard in the first 200 meters because I don't want to burn out like I did 4 years ago, and she did exactly what she needed to do. She brought it home and took the gold medal.
Got the win. Dee Dee Trotter in third.
Third place.
And on the men's side, for the first time since 1920.
Since 1920, our producer Louis Fudos pointed that out. Since 1920, that an American has not been in the 400-meter final. I mean, when you think American track and field, you think 400 meters, and we have no one representing us in the 400-meter final. And I do not think that bodes too well for us in the 4x400.
And lastly, I want to give one shout out to Team Great Britain. In the matter of an hour, they got 3 golds on Saturday night. Mo Farah in the 10K, Ennis in the HEP, And Greg Rutherford in the men's long jump, they are having a splendid Olympics.
And if somebody can tell me where Eritrea came from, that country, did it just emerge somewhere, or did another
It's a
country
volcanic
break up? I
island
don't
that just
get it.
appeared.
All right.
You can
fine.
find Brad's address. It's mail around your only source of news for track and field and endurance athletics on the airwaves. But be sure to check us out on Facebook, The Runaround on ESPN Radio. Click like, tell us what you want to hear. Follow us on Twitter, @Runaround ESPN. Be sure to tune in every Monday at 5 p.m. here on ESPN 1300 for The Runaround on ESPN 1300. Thanks for joining us.